So we're back inside, which pleases our technical guru enormously,
Yes.
Luis, because he gets to play with all of his toys. And the reason we're here is because outside there's a lot of work going on, temperatures are rising, and it's become a little unpalatable to sit on Andy's balcony.
Pity,
But,
it's such a nice view.
it's a glorious view. But welcome back. 2 guests today. The first I'll introduce you to in just a moment. But this, just to follow up on some of the things we've been talking about, jumped out at me, Andy. I didn't feel he fully committed. Joe Cole hits back at Fabio Capello after the England manager's scathing 2010 World Cup comments. And I made this point at the time, Joe goes on to say the disrespectful treatment of a player he called Calamity James. This is the manager referring to his then goalkeeper, without taking a breath. I mean, what annoyed me was, as I said to you, that's okay for us, for fans. That's not how a manager should speak to a player.
Of course it's not.
We didn't call him Postman Pat, did we? Well,
yes, you did.
We did.
Yes,
yeah.
you did.
And I think there is an example of a player having done so, and I need to find that out and confirm that for you. I think a player once did, and of course he had no idea who Postman Pat was.
No, he wouldn't.
But Joe goes on to say in this piece, I don't feel he ever committed fully to the England team. He didn't want to be part of it. We were hampered by his refusal to totally buy into the role. Couldn't agree more.
I think that's fair, from what I can remember about his tenure there. What was interesting,
Make it quick, we've got people waiting.
Well, his agent was very quick to come out and say, well, he was fully committed. He actually stayed in London for a year.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Fabio. Well done.
Mesut Ozil says no to taking a 12.5% pay cut.
Your favourite player. Well done, Mesut. Yeah, lovely. Excellent.
Martin
Now, how
Samuel
dare
today.
he?
Why there are still a million problems with football's return. This I found very, very interesting. Here is the problem with football's return, says Martin. To make golf work, the PGA Tour are hopeful of securing 1 million tests for COVID-19 to put on one tournament. 1 million tests.
Why?
First of all, I think that's a waste of 1 million tests.
Why,
there are people more worthy and more needy right now. That one man and his caddy, he said, obviously, plus the rules officials, a scorer, without a crowd, a 3-ball group amounts to 6 people down a fairway, plus scattered broadcast units. In total, 700 to 800 people are estimated to be needed on site at a tournament, but many will be spread over vast areas. Even so, 1 million tests required.
For a golf tournament?
Yeah, to get a golf tournament on the upcoming Charles Schwab tournament in Fort Worth on June the 11th.
1 million people?
1 million.
I'm sorry.
1 million tests.
What? Why?
Well,
there's less than 1,000 people there.
Martin concludes, when Karen Brady of West Ham spoke of the season being declared null and void, she was widely criticised and accused of self-interest. So too Massimo Cellino, now president of Brescia, who were bottom of Serie A, and 1 or 2 other people. I think that was originally my idea. But he doesn't mention me.
No.
And yes,
well, I wouldn't.
These are perhaps the wrong people to speak out, yet increasingly their views appear not wild, but ahead of the curve.
We shall see.
David Seaman, they always pick on the number 1. This is a piece by John Cross in the Daily Mirror today. Jordan Pickford, we know of late, has been complaining that he's always the man in the... So it's always goalkeepers. David Seaman goes on to say, look, you just got to get used to it because goalkeepers are always in the firing line. Speaking of which, Alex McCarthy, Southampton and England's number 1, joins us. Alex, how are you?
Very well, thank you, guys.
Yeah, we're good, Alex. Thanks for joining us today.
Do you feel a little...
No problem.
Is David Seaman right, Alex? Do goalkeepers always get it in the neck?
I think to a degree. Obviously, we're in that position where obviously you're the last line of defence, and if you do make a mistake, it usually does end up being a goal. Obviously, playing outfield, other players can get away with mistakes here and there. It doesn't always lead to a goal, but with us being the last line of defence, it is hard, and obviously we do come under a lot of criticism.
Why did you ever play out when you were a kid, Alex? What made you then be a goalkeeper? You're going to suffer all that.
I did play out a little bit, I guess, for the school, and then Sunday League I played out.
What position?
I played centre half for a bit.
Centre-half?
I couldn't manage 90 minutes around the pitch, so I ended up going in goal.
At what point did it become evident that you'd better pick up a pair of gloves?
I think it was when I got to about 12, 13. I didn't really enjoy playing out on pitch, and I played a little bit in goal, and I realised I was a lot better in goal, so I ended up staying with that.
Well, you were a lot taller as well. I mean, you're 12 or 13. I'm guessing you're 6'4" now? You're 6'4" now, Alex, yeah?
Yeah, just over 6'4".
So were you tall when you were 12, 13? Did that influence you going in goal?
I wasn't that tall at that age. I went through a growth spurt probably when I was about 15, 16.
Right.
I had that Osgood's, and I probably had a year out because I had a lot of problems with my knees and my back, and that was when I went through that growth spurt. But when I was younger, obviously I was playing a lot of football, but I was playing a lot of cricket and golf as well.
Right.
And it got to the sort of stage where then I had to decide what I really wanted to concentrate on, and I ended up obviously picking football and golf, and then I stayed down the route of football, and obviously I am where I am now.
So it's acceptable.
But I wasn't massive as a kid. I went through a big growth spurt, and I probably had near enough to a year out with bad knees and back.
See, when I grew up, Alex, many moons ago, everybody wanted to be a centre forward. Andy ultimately was. But these days, I think children actually, they don't mind wanting to choose to be a goalkeeper, do they? It's become acceptable to be a keeper. In fact, it's become fashionable in some respects.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you said, obviously, you see a lot of kids now obviously wanting to chuck the gloves on. I get loads of videos sent to me, loads of tweets with kids in goal and that. They seem to really enjoy it. Watching football when I was younger, obviously I always used to watch the goalies. So it was just something that I really enjoyed. A lot of my friends, they're obviously like, why didn't you want to be a striker, etc. and that. But playing in goal worked out best for me, and I really enjoy it. Obviously, we do come under a lot of pressure, a lot of stick, but it's a big responsibility, and it's a place that I enjoy playing.
Alex, just how much has it changed being a goalkeeper in the life of the Premier League, say? Because goalkeepers, certainly when I played, beginning of the Premier League, what you wanted, somebody who could go, save shots, take crosses, make saves. Didn't matter if he couldn't kick it 20 yards, 30 yards, didn't matter. How much has it changed, and how much do you have to be an all-round footballer as much as anybody else now?
Alex, that's a long way of asking, why don't keepers catch the ball anymore?
No, it wasn't.
Mad.
No, Alex, I really think, I really believe that your position out of all of them has changed more than any over the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Obviously, football now in the modern day, all managers want keepers to be able to play out. You've got the likes of like Edison and Allison who play really high up, sweeping, obviously unbelievable with their feet. So yeah, all managers like the goalies to be able to play out, be able to switch the ball, sweep up and that. So it's a massive part of the game now. Like I said, it's not just whether you can catch it or kick, sort of kick it. You need to be able to use your feet. We're involved in training a lot more with the outfield now in possession games and that, so it is a big part of the game now.
What are you doing, Alex? How are you staying fit? How are you staying mentally sharp as much as anything else?
So we've all been given individual programs. Obviously, mine's different to a lot of the other players, but I do a lot of watt bike sessions. I do a lot of leg weights. So I've got squat rack here and that, so I do all that. And as well, the club sent me a ball launching machine, which basically my missus will put the balls in and it just fires balls at you. You can set it up to whatever sort of degree and angle that you want. So that's been really useful.
What have you learned, Alex, in this shutdown? I hear so many of the lads saying, oh, I'm jet washing everything that I can get my hands on. I'm jet washing this. I'm now cooking this, that and the other. I've become a master chef. I'm playing on e-games all the time. What have you mastered in your time off?
Probably dealing with the kids a lot more. Obviously, I've been used to being in a routine where I get up before they're up in the morning, I go to football, and then I come home, have a couple of hours with them, and then they go to bed. Yeah. But obviously, being at home 24/7 now, I didn't realise how hard work it was with the kids. Like, I don't know how my missus does it. I've got my mother-in-law here as well helping. She obviously lives with us to help with the kids and that, but it's been hard work. The first 4 or 5 days was a real sort of shock to the system, but obviously now I'm a bit more used to it.
I do like the idea of the ball delivery machine. I imagine it's a bigger version of
the tennis.
Yes,
the tennis machine. Yeah.
Are you boys ready to go? I mean, if we started again, say mid-June, are you lads geared up and able to play? Do you want to play?
Yeah, I think everyone definitely wants to play. Everyone wants the season to be finished. I think everyone's obviously been keeping fit, but I don't think everyone's going to be completely match fit because there's only so much you can do at home.
Yeah.
So obviously, with a couple of weeks, I think we're due back on the 7th if it all goes to plan. I don't know what's going to happen with regards to that. But obviously we'll start training then, and hopefully we'll be ready to go into games. I don't know how many games they're going to fit in a week or what the schedule is going to be, but I think everyone definitely wants to get the season finished.
Good.
I need to see this ball delivery machine. Obviously now is not the time, Alex, but I'm thinking as you talk, we might come back to you next week if you don't mind.
Well, we might have to come back to him and give us a demonstration.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Join you in the garden this week, perhaps. So that's on the agenda. Listen, in the meantime, stay busy, and really grateful to you for taking time out to talk to us. Thanks, Alex.
And more importantly,
No problem,
Alex,
guys.
stay safe.
Take it easy.
Stay safe,
big man.
Stay safe.
Cheers, mate.
So, and that's something I really do think that we should try to do, and we will be back with Alex McCarthy, if not this week, next. But I need to see that.
Having a little look at how the players are keeping themselves sharp, and that's great. I'm looking forward to seeing him with that machine. I hope he doesn't concede any. I really do.
Two guests today, just to change things around a little bit and keep it fresh. Our second current Premier League player is legendary Everton defender, Phil Jagielka.
Legend. Not a great golfer, but legend.
Everton defender.
Of course he was.
Was?
Legend.
Was?
Oh, he's moved. Did you not know?
No.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, Sheffield United bought him a couple of 18 months ago.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, did you? Sorry, Jags. Sorry, Jags.
Jags
played a couple of times. Give us a break. Come on.
Played a couple of. What's it like to be back where really it all started?
It was quite surreal and quite. That was a bit of a difficult time. Obviously, leaving Everton the way it happened and all sorts so late, not knowing whether anything else would come about. And Chris Wilder rang me up, the gaffer, asked me to pop over to Sheffield. Had literally a 20-minute chat with him. And we were pretty much sold on the idea. Obviously, with the boys coming up from the Championship, and 2 seasons ago before that from League One, they wanted a little bit of experience. So I was more than happy to come along. And to be honest, it's been a fantastic journey since.
Was it easy for you, Jags? At Everton, such a long time, so much had happened, and I kind of think you were there through the David Moyes years, stability, lots of great times you had. Then you were sort of going through all that turmoil, manager after coach, and a lot of indecision there. Were you not tempted just to hang on to see who might come in?
Well, I would have done. There was talk, but I think at the time they were after a couple of centre halves, especially Kurt Zuma, who we had on loan. So it got to a point where they couldn't really make their mind up.
Right.
So I think the easy decision for them was basically to let me go and try and find somewhere else and go from there. It wasn't nice to hear. But in the end, for me, probably the best place I could have come to was obviously the place I started my career at before. And with the type of dressing room and management team and squad and stuff that's obviously very British here, it was probably the perfect place for me to come.
How does that sit with the 1 or 2? I mean, that was what Chris was renowned for, bringing Sheffield up. It was all a very British-based unit. He's introduced like Musette and a couple of others. How has that played out? How have they settled in, the boys? We're a very British team.
Yeah, I think I say it's such a tough one. This is obviously a close-knit group that have played in many divisions between them, promotions and stuff like that. But I think that the group itself is so accommodating. It's been really easy. Moose, as we call him, is a different character, but he understands that. He gets on really well with most of the lads. He speaks pretty good English. Obviously, he does things a slightly different way. He's got a bright orange Lamborghini. That's just typical.
Of course he has, Jags. Of course he has.
As soon as he come in, he's fitted in really well. And like I say, it's up to us as lads to help those people. Obviously, it's lonely at times. I'm sure he's a bit lonely throughout this period, being obviously in a different country. Having to do all these crazy fitness schedules that we get sent through via WhatsApp. So I'm sure he's probably not the happiest person at the moment, but probably getting on with it.
Phil, looking from the outside in, the general impression is success based on 3 really good centre-backs.
Right, oh, come on. No, success based on the centre-backs looking over their shoulders and seeing Jagielka waiting to jump in.
Yeah, that's another way of putting it.
Exactly.
But for you, what has the success been down to this season?
Well, I think you've obviously got to look at the clean sheets, but I don't think you can just hand it to the 3 centre-halves. It is sort of a 5 at the back. We've obviously got probably one of the informed goalkeepers in the league as well with Dino. he's played really well. But on the flip side, he's not had as much as maybe some people would have expected him to have had to do with the form in front. They've been playing this system for a little while now, so when I turned up and I'm doing a pre-season match away at Chesterfield and expected me to do an overlap in right centre half, I did look at the manager a couple of times, and he sort of gave me the nod as if to say, you can just stay there for this time, Jags. But no, it's all different. It's all a different way of playing. The lads probably haven't been as gung-ho as they would have done maybe in the Championship, but it's nice to know at certain times in the game. There has been games where we've gone 1-0 down and we've been able to probably take a few more gambles than maybe some of the teams can't do.
Do you think if Pep Guardiola had come up with this system rather than Chris Wilder, we'd be talking about it a great deal more?
Oh, we'd be talking about a genius, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but to be honest, I think Pep, we played Pep, and I think he's played one centre-back.
Yeah.
And then literally no defenders. So he has done something quite crazy and mad himself. But no, I think it works really well. You can look at it as a 5 at the back. You can look at it as a 3 at the back. You can look at it as a 1 at the back sometimes. It's just depends on obviously the state of the game, and that's the best thing. You've got to put praise on the lads. What I love about the squad we've got now, we had no Premier League players for the start of the season. I think we had 8-9 debutants against Bournemouth away. So literally no one was supposedly good enough or proven. And it takes me back to, like I say, the days at Everton when David Moyes probably would sign a couple of us out of the Championship, or maybe have had one season in the Prem that weren't proven as well. So, these were the conversations we were trying to have early doors in the season, and I was trying to put across that you're not going to become a Premier League player until you've played 10, 20, 40, 100, 200 games. So forget what people are labelling you, if you like. You can't change that, because that's the only thing you can do with this time. And I think the lads, I wouldn't say took it personally, but took it on board and wanted to prove to themselves and everyone else that they're more than capable of playing at this level.
That's smart. That's what we've had a chuckle at, but that's what you bought. Streetwise Premier League experience.
And I wonder, I was just thinking there, at the beginning of the season, I don't care what you say, you might say, no, you're wrong, Andy, but nobody at Sheffield United, player-wise, could have believed you would be sitting where you are 28 games in, whatever it is. No one. How long do you think it took the boys to get in the morning, come to a weekend and think, we belong here, we're okay with this?
I'm not sure we're there yet.
Yeah.
I think what happened is, so obviously start of the season, you bear in mind, you want little checkpoints, you want to make sure you don't ever want to be in the bottom 3, you want to pick up points as you go along. There's been a few games, the Chelsea away, we come back to get a draw, and we kept, I think it was 9 games away from home where we didn't lose. Correct. And then obviously that helped the momentum, and I think that's one thing we stipulate at the start of the season. We will have periods, we've not really had a bad period, but it will be a period where we lose momentum, and it's all about getting that back. And I think for us, we're trying to get to, everyone says 40 points, don't they? So you want to get to 40 points or within 40 points as soon as possible. For us, I think there was 12, 14 games left. It's mad. No one ever thought that was going to be the situation. We were expecting to go maybe on a great season, 4 or 5 games left with hitting the 40-point mark.
Agreed,
we'd have cartwheeled all the way into the town centre doing that. But I think the best thing about the lads is obviously we've had a pretty decent cup run as well. Yeah. It's just the momentum of just keep winning games, just keep trying to win a game, draw a game, win a game, draw a game. Before you know it, we're at 40 points. I think, speaking to the lads obviously on the break now, we've had a few Zoom meetings, as you can imagine. Everyone's bored and going out of the brains. But I think probably taking a stock now will be the first time we've actually realised how well we've done.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the way the management team and the players push each other day to day, you don't really have time to think and sort of give too many pats on the back. Don't get me wrong, everyone's excited and delighted with the way things have gone, but I know a lot of people say we don't think about what's going on and play the next game, but I think that was the formula for the start of the season, and the manager won't let that slip.
We have stopped, Phil, we've stopped talking about when or if we restart, because every day there's a new story in that respect. But how important is it to Sheffield United to finish this season sitting just outside the top 6, I think, when we finish?
6, I think.
Are you looking up? Are you thinking that it's possible for the Blades to finish top 4?
Well, it's possible, and obviously, with this Predictor League, we'll take one of the Predictor League, puts us in 5th place. I think one Predictor League puts us in 8th, so depends what Predictor League you want to go with. No, but I think the manager sat us down and said, once we got to this, and we've obviously we had the cup game coming up to progress there. This season has been undoubtedly one of the best seasons in Sheffield United's career, history, and it's still going. So we have an opportunity now to make this something that no one would have ever dreamt about. Whether it happens or not, it's not. I wouldn't say it's not the end of the earth, but it's not the be all and end all. We've achieved pretty much, I think, Premier League status. We've achieved proving people wrong. But the fact of the matter is, you don't get too many opportunities like this. You don't get too many opportunities where a club in the state that we're in, bear in mind, we are not an established Premier League team. Obviously, historically, it's a massive club and all sorts. But realistically, over the course of the last 15, 20 years, we aren't a big Premier League club. To get that close, to have that possibility, we have to go for it. We can't. I know you've seen a lot of teams probably have a really, really strong 2/3 of the season, get safe, and then maybe put the handbrake on and not want to go into Europe, or you know, the way some players' mentality are. But I think for us, you know, if we finish in 8th, 9th, 10th, 4th, 5th, 6th, it's going to be all down to us, and it'll be an amazing season.
I think you've got something tells me that looking at your coach, the way I've looked at him and the way he's going about his job, I think it would be more likely be foot to the floor and let's get this season finished on a high, rather than, oh, we're all right, we've done what we needed to do, we're in the league next year, that's great lads, well done. I think he might be the former rather than the latter.
100%. He's literally said, like, he won't take it. If you want to take your foot off the throttle, both in training and obviously in games, he's got the squad that he'll change it around. He says this opportunity doesn't come around too often for players. No. And I'm certain the manager will be thinking as well, because that's the way we think. It doesn't come along too often for the manager as well. And, you know, we all want to do well in our own careers and our own little areas. Obviously, we're in it together, but 100% we could do something really special. We have done something really special, but it could be something, like you say, unbelievable.
He's unfashionable, Phil, because he's a Brit.
Yeah.
But how good actually is he?
Well, we've got Alan Nill as well, so they work really well together. So you've got, obviously, they've both got the very similar ideas. They both share the workload throughout the week. But I suppose you've got Alan, who's a bit quieter, who doesn't say much but says enough when he needs to. And obviously the manager's more the one that's at it more often than not. Swears probably every 3 or 4 words.
Good lad. I'm liking him even more.
If you get a foreigner in, they're going to be wondering what all these words are. You know, the Sheffield slang is a little bit different as well. But but it's the motivation, it's the way. And like I say, he has a squad now of very talented lads, but obviously men. Because, you know, that's a big thing for me. If you're going to have to have an argument, or you're going to have to, you know, get a little bit aggressive with people, you need men to men up and either come back at you or take it and move on, and also it's all part of the process of sort of developing as a person, obviously as a team as well.
I have to say, you're looking sharp. The weather up there is obviously good. Your hair's gone very blonde.
It's got blonde, I know. I think there might be a couple of rinses through that myself.
A bit of a tint through it, so I didn't go for the grazy yet. I think that's next week.
I mean, have you got some footballs out in the garden then? Are you still flicking about, taking it about, or what?
A little bits and bobs. To be honest, it's mainly been the bike, bike and the running. We've been given schedules and stuff throughout. Obviously, lockdown. I won't say the time frames changed. We were hoping it was going to be 2 weeks, and it was going to be definitely 4. Now it looks more like it's going to be 8, possibly 9 before we're back in. So, you know, unfortunately, we've all been put in little groups, and we're being tracked pretty much every day. But
Big Brother's watching you.
Well, Phil, listen, we were hoping this, and you'll understand the sentiment here, this might be the only time we were going to talk to you, but after what you've just said, I suspect we could be back going forward. So in the meantime, thank you for taking the trouble to talk to us, and we're very grateful.
Thanks, Jags.
Guys, take it easy. Bye.
Take care of yourself. Phil Jagielka and Alex McCarthy.
I'm looking forward to him coming back to, I know he's probably listening, so I'm going to say this here. I'm looking forward to him coming back to Qatar to see us again, because I'm looking forward to taking some more money off him in the golf course. He's chuckling. I can see him laughing there. Oh dear.
His golf was not his
strong
point.
Good, funny. I love Jags. He's such a good lad.
I'm just wondering, as he was talking about, and were you in this very same? Well, we are all in the same position, but it's a different ask of the lads, isn't it, right now? A very different ask to what they're used to. Obviously, having spoken to Alex and Phil.
Totally different. Richard, Alex McCarthy hit it on the nail. These guys get up in the morning, are ready at 8 o'clock. Kids say cheerio to them. The kids go to school. Off they go, totally governed by football, totally focused on football. for the rest of the day until they see the kids for a couple of hours at night. Suddenly, you throw the guys into a situation where from the minute they get up to the minute they go to bed, the kids are around. And that's what Alex was saying. He says he can't believe what a great job my wife does because it's been tough for me. And he's only just getting used to it. It's a totally different environment, Richard. It really is, because what the family does as well, it's so important for the family to make the husband comfortable, because, you know, really it's his career they want to watch to flourish. And they do everything they can to support it in every way they can, the kids and the spouses. And I think that's what they do. And when that's not there, Alex is suddenly thinking, and Jags is suddenly thinking, we're at home all day.
Well, all things being equal, we'll join Alex in the garden next week and have a look at this machine. I can't wait, honestly. Thank you for your company again today. We're here 5 days a week on beIN Sports at these very same times. For our international audience outside of the beIN broadcast area, it's YouTube for you. Keep the thoughts and comments coming, please. Obviously, stay safe. That's the most important thing. Stay distanced, which we are. And we'll be back in the lounge tomorrow at the same time, talking, unless something else crops up, talking goal scoring.
Oh, nice. I like that.
I'll leave this hanging. What is a natural goal scorer? Answers tomorrow.
Not me.